I'm not dealing with this again. Dude, you do what you want, but I ain't watching. So it turns out if you keep the game muted and just look down, you don't really have to be as traumatized by Knoth. Anyway, welcome back to Suladan Plays Outlast 2, otherwise known as Where is the Eye Bleach? We went through a lot last time, and I went through more than you did because I figured out how to do more sensory things. Let's see what that is. Kind of weird fabric. Oh, wait, should I record him? Yep. Why am I not surprised? Then we got poor Judas guy over there. I don't know what happened to the lady friend that was down here that I thought got killed. Or did he get killed and she watched? I don't remember. I thought she died too. It's been a while. Show me the thing.
The priest dies. You didn't have to do anything. You were a child. Nobody could expect anything of you. None of this is my fault.
You know, it seems like he's slowly losing his grip on reality. Or this isn't reality and he's slowly regaining his grip on reality. I'm still considering that to be a possibility. Oh man, that ties together in a really creepy way. What if the pedo priest raped the girl, she got pregnant, she killed herself, then the priest killed himself, and this is all just a twisted version of that series of events playing out in Blake's fever-dreamed mind as he sits in a padded room. And a psychiatrist is trying to talk to him through the little window in the door, saying, it's not your fault, and all the little voice in our head moments we've been having through the game. Anyway, I really hope that's not the case. I'm just gonna leave. I'm just leaving this place to... Red. There's lots of death and something red outside. Oh, it's just the sun. Never mind. Don't tell Superman the sun turned red. He won't be happy. Nope. Nope. Run, you it. Oh, never mind. I'm carrying a baby. Of course I can't run. And there's a hanging person with lots of flares. So many You twitched in a very unnatural way, and I don't trust it. I don't like it. You just stay put up that. You stay. Stay put. I hear noises coming from directions I ought not. The music is beautiful, but loud. I don't... That's one nice thing about the audio and gameplay being in separate separate audio files. I can at least fix it if the game music overshadows me. Earthquake. Don't go near the well. Last time we went near a well, a giant tongue came out of it. I truly, truly want to give, one second. Witness the end. I really want to give credit to the set design, like whatever design team put this together. Just the little ambient rumble. I would love to see what it's like without the the singing music in the background. Just the ominous rumblings, the particle effects, the way the sky looks, where everything is placed. It's truly beautiful. I mean, beautiful in an artistic sense, not like you want to put a house there and live there forever, but you know, I think it's just really, really nicely done. It's being overshadowed a bit by the singing, but I'm assuming that the singing is leading up to something, especially because the achievement said witness the end. No, what, play the thing, sir.
She's gonna be okay. You have her. She'll get to grow up. She'll do everything she was born to do.
We're talking about the baby? Okay. Backwell. I don't trust you. Hydrogen cyanide? Hydrogen cyanide? Did they just all chug cyanide and kill themselves? I mean, hydrogen cyanide. I don't... I'm not familiar with hydrogen cyanide. I'm familiar with what regular cyanide does. And the sun is exploding. Fire! And we're back in school. Why am I not surprised? Still with the choir of singings. I could do without the singing choir. And we're in a flashback, so I have no camera. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the singing choir is at this point taking away from the experience. But again, they're expecting me to just kind of push through this, so it's taking away from my experience to the carbon dioxide. Yes. Because I just want
Hey, Blake.
to wander around.
Try to find me.
If I had a camera with a fancy microphone doodad, I could do that.
I'm over here.
Somewhere in this direction, but that could mean in here. I'm gonna go this way.
This way, Blake.
Stop getting louder! Stop choiring! Choiring is now a verb. Oh, hi.
Don't worry.
Weren't you dead? I can't tell the timeline on all these little flashbacks, and your hair
I'll
clipped
never let you go.
into your neck in ways that
Never let me go.
shouldn't happen.
Now the light has gone away. Savior,
Meh?
listen while I pray.
Begging
Begging thee to watch and keep, and send me
That's the range of my camera
quietly to
motion.
sleep. Watchful Savior, wash away all I've been wrong today. Help me every day to be gentle, gentle, more like thee.
Born again, finish the game. Oh, okay, that... Well, I guess one thing would have been I could have finished the game last week. I'm confused by the ending, though. I really expected there to be a big reveal, like showing what all this was. And instead, it's the sun explodes. So, I mean, I guess it's saying the world ended. But then we're in a flashback. Okay. You're getting turned down. Ooh. I'm confused by the ending, but I'm going to put a pin in that for now. Overall, Outlast 2, environmentally, it is very well designed. I enjoy the environments and the audio and the sound effects and just the overall aesthetic and atmosphere that the game creates. As far as gameplay goes, I have mixed feelings. If I take it as a standalone thing, it rates a little better, but if I compare it to Outlast 1, I feel like Outlast 1 did a much better job with its I guess level design, for lack of a better term. I don't mean the environments themselves. The two environments are very different and both are unique and interesting, but I mean in the level design as far as the player character's interaction with the world and progress goes, with enemies and all taken into account. In Outlast 1, you're inside a building. This means that the player is often having to go more linear routes, although sometimes they are branching and different, but hallways are, by their very nature, limiting in how many directions you can go. The open forest and valleys and all in Outlast 2 led to a much more open experience, but sometimes led to the player just being lost. And being lost wouldn't be a bad thing if I had the time to explore and appreciate, but many times Outlast 2 tried to build suspense by just saying, hey, there's a booger chasing you, run, while exploring, while figuring out where you need to go, and just die a few times, and you'll figure it out. Outlast 1 did this sometimes. Like, I do remember a couple instances where I got stuck, but generally the running from something segments were more about stealth. And I like, hiding under furniture and trying to kind of sneak my way around instead of Outlast 2. I get with Laird, you were supposed to kind of run from him, but the fact that he had the one-shot arrow of death just generally led to trying to outrun him, or I don't know. I still don't quite get what I was supposed to do with that segment. I feel like Outlast 1, as a result of this, often had more of an opportunity to slowly build up its tension. You'd see enemies, or you'd see entities off in areas that you couldn't reach. You'd hear sounds that just built up tension, and then when that moment of you being chased finally came, the tension would snap and you'd have to deal with it. In Outlast 2, it tries to do that constantly, so the tension never really gets to build to a good to build very far, and it just kind of drops off because you're constantly being chased. The whole section with Laird in particular is what I'm kind of poking at here. The flashback sections where you've got to deal with, you know, 12-armed goon of death. You know, there's another thing, but that's not explained. Is there, like, DLC or something I should know about that explains? Did I do something wrong? I mean, it says there's still 10 achievements. Hard mode, collect 40 documents, nightmare mode, complete all recordings. Finish the game without hiding in a barrel or closet. Finish the game in insane mode without reloading the battery. Finish the game in under 4 hours. Complete all recordings, and then 4 hidden achievements. I don't know. I had a lot more hope for the story, and the way it just kind of drops off at the end, I'm concerned that I missed something. Did I, is there like a second ending? I may have to look that up real quick, actually. One moment. Oh, dear. Okay, so apparently there is a note that I missed that would have explained some of this. I will, you know, superimpose it into the video, but it says September 17th, 2015. At halfway point between the towers and the subjects, the signal remains strong. Safe to say any damage to the electric storm caused the relays was minimal. Peaceful out here on the lake. I thought microwaves were supposed to discourage birds, but I've been hearing a few owls that are either killing each other or... I'm gonna hike a mile or so closer to the site tomorrow and take some more readings. Had a curious anomaly in signal strength in the last quarter mile. It actually got stronger as I traveled further from the towers and closer to the site. Could be effective microwave parallax, but there's a more exciting option. It could be the mysterious feedback loop Dr. Cameron noted in his radio telemetry lab. The perceived self-inflicted discomfort with mass capitulation enabled the driven believers to become projectors, which would be yet another bet I lose and a dinner I owe to Jenny Rowland. Note, when transcribing these, please leave out all mention of Miss Rowland. My mind may be wandering to lascivious places and all this nature, and whatever those owls are doing to each other is not helping. So, supposedly it does link back to the original game's Murkoff Corporation, that big light that we saw, which I assumed, based on all the other Revelation imagery, was just meant to be symbolic of, you know, the trumpets of the, you know. Anyway. Because it seemed to be accompanied by what was a loud tuba sound, but I thought they just wanted it to be a deep and ominous trumpet sound, and I mean, I have a trumpet, I can make it make that noise. Slightly deeper, but it's kind of around the same frequency. Instead of putting both lips into the mouthpiece on the trumpet, you just project your lower lip into it and let the lower lip flap, and it makes a much deeper sound. I used to annoy people in band by doing that. I have it open on another screen. Let's see. Brainwash experiments, part of Murkoff's secret corporation, same company from the first game that had opened Mount Massive Asylum to experiment on humans. Jennifer Rowland, that was mentioned in the note, is from Outlast 1, and the pathologist in Outlast 1 proves the connection to Murkoff and the MK Ultra mind control program. As the closer Blake gets to the tower, the more he loses his mind. The hallucinations and weird dreams of early childhood get stronger. Blake blames himself for Jessica's death because he didn't love her and didn't protect her when she needed him. Let's see. The demon that haunts you in the school is the priest. It can be seen by the scar above his right eye. The demon has the exact same scar. Never really got to look at him close enough to notice that, but, you know. The memory of the event haunts Blake to the day. That's why he sees the priest as a demon in his visions, because he was the bad guy and ultimately the reason Jessica committed suicide. In the end, the microwave signal has gotten so strong that they all just murdered each other. The document speaks of anomalies in signal strength and mentions the signal is particularly strong. Basically, the test subjects themselves become projectors. That means that, you know, tower, the signal reaches person. Then the person themselves begins projecting the signal. So say you've got 100 people, each affected by the tower, that are each then projecting the signal around them. You start getting into some really magnified results. Blake finally loses his mind, submits to the signal. It remains unknown what happened to the baby, whether the baby was an illusion, whether the sun exploding was an illusion. Before Lynn dies, she says there's nothing there, which could either mean that she's slowly dying, doesn't see a white light, and is saying there's nothing there, or she could be saying that there's nothing there, there was no baby, she wasn't pregnant, and she had a moment of lucidity before her death. She'd been in the mines 800 feet below ground for much of the game. The brainwashing signal may not have affected her as strongly. Blake and Knoth, however, were. Unsolved mysteries. Was Lynn ever pregnant or not? When you arrive, it doesn't show. There's a recording immediately after reuniting with her in the end, which Blake says it's so cold and snowing outside, but there's no snow. The fact what you see in the world going up in flames, a hot storm and lightning into the sky, so maybe he imagined she's pregnant, the microwave signal made everyone think she was, then the half the game wouldn't make any sense because everyone was after the child. The snow could also be a reference to the snow outside the school drake. That's how I took it, because it seemed like he was slowly losing grip on which reality he was in, and I would have liked to have seen a better payoff there. One thing that's clear is Blake is getting more delusional as time goes by. There are many unanswered questions. Maybe we'll have to wait for a DLC to get all the answers. Well, how old is this game again? I don't think there is. Is there? I'm still getting used to the layout of things. Where would I click to find DLC? Okay, yeah, it would be on a tab down there. That is no DLC tab. There's a review, screenshots, trading cards, achievements, and friends who play. So yeah, maybe there was a DLC that was gonna explain it, but I don't think there is a... I don't know. Let's see. During the verse, the baby doesn't have a shadow. I don't know. That could be an oversight on a technical stance. Oh yeah, I did forget about that. In Outlast 1, it did mention that there were no female patients because of the weird effects it could have on females, including phantom pregnancies. I mean, that is possible. Video recordings taken during visions are all corrupted. They have no picture but play a sound. If you revert the sound through video editing software, they actually start to make some sense. A man can be heard speaking prayers, but not clear who it is. It could be Blake, but he sounds different. Let's see. It could support the theory that Blake is wandering around in a trance during the times that he's in that. Let's see. Another point John makes in his document is he saw insects, mouths, and genitals in his visions, the same things Blake was experiencing, such as the tongue coming from the phone, being grabbed by tongue, swarms of insects lifting him from the bridge, and the latter part likely not for, you know, the game's already rated M. I don't think they could push that too much farther. It's a trophy for finishing the first playthrough called Born Again. Technically, they're asking who was reborn. Technically, I think that's a play on the, you know, the Christian phrase "born again Christian," since the cult is considered loosely based on a corrupted they're using a lot of Christian symbolism, so I assume the achievements are doing the same. The things that them people were doing would be very, very not Christian, so they ain't Christian people. They are very much crazy cultists and whatnot. Even by crazy cultist standards. But I guess that's Outlast 2. I'm gonna be honest. I enjoy the game's environment, but the story leaves to be desired. It doesn't really... To me, it doesn't conclude in a satisfying way, and I will leave the possibility that they intended to expand on it with a DLC, but I don't know. I mean, it could be that Outlast 3 expands on it. I think there's an Outlast 3. I'll have to look. Anyway, for now, I suppose this has been Suladan Plays Outlast 2. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you'd like to join the Discord channel, please do. There is a link in the YouTube channel's banner thing alongside the Patreon and the Twitter. It's amongst the links. I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, and I'll see you on the next game. Very confusing game. Hopefully the next one will be less confusing. Well, less confusing, you know, meaningful way. I don't know.